Hey racers, John Racer3 here today, back for another Matchbox video, and today we've got the Matchbox 2025 M Case. This is the last case for the year for Matchbox, and I've been having fun unboxing these cases and finding the fastest car that Matchbox has been making, and there's also been some really nice models in here too. So we're gonna go ahead and take a look at what is inside this case and then race them out on the track. So first of all, shout out the Matchbox design team for sending me these cases. I've been having a great time unboxing them, and you guys have been really enjoying the Matchbox content as well. And that is something you guys also have to look forward to in 2026. When the new Matchbox basic lines come out, I will definitely be unboxing them here on the channel for you guys, and we're gonna see what Matchbox has been cooking with their brand new model. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this M Case. If you guys are only interested in seeing which car was the fastest in this case, you can go ahead and jump to this time frame to see which cars there are the fastest on the track. But regardless, we're going to be taking all the cars that are new for this case. We're going to be passing all of the carryovers from the previous case that are in here and only racing the new ones on the distance track to see which one is the fastest. Now, because this is the last case of 2025 for Matchbox, it wouldn't really make sense to transition a whole new series into 2026 and have our King of the Hill only be the king for 3 races. So I think for these Matchbox cases, our current King of the Hill, which is the Ford F-150 Lightning, is going to be trying to defend his title all through 2026 as well, with however many cases the Matchbox team decides to send me next year. So really looking forward to that, and we should have some fast models in this case as well. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into it. All right, to kick us off, we got a BMW M1 and a 2024 Subaru WRX S4 STI. Beautiful looking M1, a recolor in white. Beautiful, I mean, just casting in general. Matchbox makes the M1 really, really well, especially when it comes to this proportion of the car. This time it is white with black wheels. Big fan of the blacked out wheels and the 5-spoke wheels that they chose for this model as well. Very clean looking BMW, and BMW M1s could be fast, so we'll have to keep an eye out on that on the track. But then we've got a new for 2025 model, the 2024 Subaru WRX S4 STI. A beautiful looking Subaru. This is a very modern looking Subaru as well. So for those of you who don't know, I live in Colorado, which is notoriously a state known for having Subarus driven on the road literally everywhere. So it's cool to see this in my collection because I do in fact see these Subarus everywhere, and we don't have a lot of Subaru in Hot Wheels form or Matchbox form, let alone modernized versions. So very nice Subaru to add to the collection here. Looking forward to opening this and seeing if it's quick. I hope it is. See what else we got. We got a Land Rover PHEV and another Subaru. We'll set that aside. This is new for the case low. I don't know what PHEV stands for on this Range Rover 2024 though. It looks like a boat, really. You got that iconic gold for the Land Rover livery with the silver wheels on it. Very nice looking Matchbox car. Again, this is just like one of those cars that you'd probably see driving on the road every day. That is what Matchbox does best, instead of the souped up race cars that Hot Wheels tends to make out of models like this. So very clean looking model. Big fan. We'll see if it's fast. It's very tall though, so we'll have to see if it actually makes it around my track. Next up, we have the Scania XT Fire Truck. Very nice. I know there are a lot of Scania fans when it comes to Matchbox and their production of fire trucks. Very cool. You got the Matchbox fire department on the side there. I like the yellow stripes as well. Very good looking fire truck. We'll have to see if it's fast on the track because it is quite skinny as well, but I also like the wheels on that thing. I like the colors. Did very good on the decals on that model. Looks great. Oh, but next we have a Nissan Ariya pole to pole 2023. This looks like almost like a Dakar version of the Nissan Ariya, I guess. It's a new for 2025 model. You got some really beefy off-road tires on this thing, and the card art does do it justice because this thing looks gnarly. You've got some wide body on the sides of the car there. You can see it on the car as well, and those big tires. You got some mud flaps on the back as well. It's really hard to show off the design in the packaging here, but once we unbox it, yeah, we'll go ahead and take a closer look at this thing. It looks absolutely amazing. So we'll go ahead and unbox that, see if it's quick on the track. Looks like we've got another Scania fire truck and then another ground grinder. Ground grinder was in the previous case, so that's a carryover. We'll set that aside. Next up, we've got a Land Rover Gen 2 and a Ford Mustang Fastback. New for the case is the Land Rover with the Safari Park livery on it. Looks like a tiger livery on this Land Rover. Looks very cool. So that's 2 Land Rovers now in the Matchbox M Case. Looking pretty cool. I'm a big fan of the older one. Honestly, I like the wheels. I like the way it's stanced up. And the older Land Rover just looks so cool. The card art does do it justice. Very nice. You can see the little Land Rover logo on the top of the packaging there. Nice little detail. And the white wheels really just bring it all together. Very nice, Matchbox. Very nice Safari Land Rover. But now this is more in my language. We got the 1968 Ford Mustang Fastback. And this is a beautiful looking Mustang. The color that they chose is absolutely immaculate. They got some really good wheels on here. You got a little bit of a chrome interior. Not sure how I feel about a chrome interior on this Mustang, but I mean, even with the chrome interior, all of the other chrome accents on this thing look amazing. Like the front bumper, the splitter right here on the bottom of the car, and then that rear bumper as well in chrome. This will look a lot better out of its package, and I really hope it's quick as well. I have unboxed some really fast Fords from Matchbox on the track, and this thing I'm hoping will be really quick because, I mean, just look at that card art. Absolutely beautiful looking Mustang. Looks like we got another Mustang here and another Land Rover Gen 2 in the case, so a couple more carryovers for all my Mustang fans. That's pretty exciting. We're flying through this case. We got an Alfa Romeo Duetto and a 2016 Fiat 500X. Two cars that we've seen before. They were both in the previous case, so we won't be racing those guys here. We got the 2015 Polaris RZR Pro R4 Sport and a 1986 Volvo 240. Let's go ahead and look at the Volvo first. I like the color on this thing. I believe Matchbox has made the 240 Volvo before, and I guess I don't really know how fast it is. We'll have to unbox and check it out, but I like the yellow color on this thing. Matchbox, again, does a really good job with all of these. I guess I don't want to call them more boring models, but I guess comparatively to what you guys are used to seeing on this channel with the Hot Wheels case unboxings, these cars are a lot more simple and honestly a lot more clean as well. But I think all of the color choices and decals look really good on this thing. The grille, the headlights, everything, the license plate, the Volvo logo on the back in silver, looking very nice. Hopefully it's fast. You could only hope. But then we have another new for 2025 model. In this case, we got the 2025 Polaris RZR Pro R4 Sport. Man, that is quite the long name, but I don't believe there have been many Polaris RZR models produced in 164. So when Matchbox announced this at their Matchbox convention a couple years back, I was excited to see it because honestly, we've just never really seen a model like this before, and I think Matchbox absolutely killed it. I think this model will actually deserve to get a little bit of recognition out of the package, so let's just go ahead and unbox it now. And honestly, maybe I should unbox all the rest of the cars as soon as I get them out of the case in the future. Comment down below if that's what I should do. But yeah, take a look at this Polaris. Looking really cool. You got a plastic roll cage on this thing, and then the body itself is metal in this like tan-ish color. Then you got a plastic base, of course, but it's like pretty long. The wheelbase is quite long. That's pretty standard for the Polaris RZRs, but you got a little bit of a Matchbox logo there on the side as well. Roll cage looking sweet, and the wheels are not as bulky and off-roady as some of the more off-roader cars that we've seen so far in this case. Like this Nissan has much bulkier off-road wheels than this thing does, at least it looks like. So, well, actually, you know what? I take that back. These actually look like the exact same wheels. It just doesn't look like it's as much of an off-road wheel because I guess the wheels are so open. So I take it back. These are the exact same wheels on both of these cars. Very much an off-roader car, but very nice. Excited to put that on the track. I feel like we are just flying through this case. Oh, take a look at this. We got another skidster. Seen that in the previous case, set that aside. But now we've got the Harry Potter 1962 Ford Angela. This thing is great. I don't know if any of you guys are big Harry Potter fans, but I believe this car showed up in a couple of the movies. I think the second movie was where this showed up the most when it was flying around the train. And now we've got it in Matchbox form. I'm sure this will be a very popular model for Matchbox collectors to get, and people who don't really collect models or Matchbox models to get as well, because of the Harry Potter IP that you've got all over the Matchbox card art. I mean, like, let's just take a little comparison here as to what the card art looks like on the Harry Potter car. Matchbox really toned back their orange and yellow colors for this Ford Angelina, and it really just looks like Harry Potter. I'm a big fan of having super unique card art on cars like this. It really sets them out from the crowd, and I mean, I don't even want to take this out of its package. It looks so great, but this is a racing channel. We are going to be racing this Ford Angelina to see if it's really fast on the Hot Wheels track or if it'll just fly away. I mean, we don't know. We'll have to test it out. So we'll unbox it and see what happens. Surely I won't regret that in 10 years when that model's worth lots of money. All right, looks like we got another skid, sir, from the previous case, and we've also got a 2018 Dodge Durango. Take a look at how big this guy is. It is girthy, and it's got a little hook to tow things as well. I think this is another car that would be worth unboxing right now. All right, here is the unboxed Dodge Durango, and take a look at how girthy this thing is. It's so sleek. Usually I'm not the biggest fan of just plain silver cars. However, this Dodge Durango I think pulls it off because it's a very basic looking car, like you'll see it on the streets. I mean, this thing looks like it has a Hemi in it, like ultra horsepower as well. So I'm hoping it's fast on the track. If it's long and if the wheels roll well, I bet it will be, but there's only one way to find out. And hopefully we'll find something for it to tow as well. That'd be pretty cool. But it's nice that Matchbox also includes that option. If there are universal like trailers that you can attach to your Matchbox models, this thing will work with it. And that's a pretty cool design feature. Props to you, Matchbox. We are getting down to the end of this case, though, with only a couple cars left. We got Garbage King. We've seen this in the previous case. Garbage truck right there. And then we've got a 2016 Nissan Sentra. Speaking of boring cars, I think it is fair for me to call this Nissan Sentra a pretty boring car. It's got some different wheels on it, though, different than the regular 5-spoke wheels that Matchbox uses on the majority of their models. And I think this honestly matches the stock hubcaps that you see on Nissan Sentras just throughout the world anyways, and the black color, I mean, this just looks like if you own a Nissan Sentra, boom, there you go. Here's a nice looking Nissan Sentra. We'll see if it's fast and we'll unbox it for the race, but very classic looking car there. But okay, we got 2 more cars left. In this case, what we got, it's another Nissan Sentra and another Garbage King. So we've seen both of these cars before. So a lot more carryovers from the previous case than I was anticipating in this M case, but that is gonna do it for Matchbox basic line in 2025. Now the next cases that we'll be unboxing are the 2026 line. But first, before we even talk about the 2026 line for Matchbox, we gotta race these guys on the distance track to see which one is the fastest. We'll see who is the king. I mixed up the track just a little bit after reading your comments about the last tournament that I did with Matchbox, and then I will keep you guys updated once we get to the races here. But overall, my highlights for this case, well, let me just take a look at these cars again. If I were to pick 3 cars that I'm the most excited for, it's going to be these 3. The Ford Mustang Fastback, I think, is my favorite out of all of these cars in this case. I don't know why. It just looks amazing. It looks super sleek, and it looks like it's going to be quick. The card art makes it look so shiny. And I mean, with the lights I have in my studio right now, it does also look pretty shiny. So big fan of that. Then, of course, we got the 2024 Subaru WRX. Just finally some new Subarus to add to the collection. Plus, it's in blue. Big fan of blue Subarus, looking very nice. And then, of course, that Ford Angelina, the Harry Potter car. I am unfortunately going to be taking it out of its package. I think this is definitely one of the cars that would look the best still in its package. But I cracked my cars open around here. So let's just send a message to all of my carded collectors watching this video. If you didn't want to open your Harry Potter car because you wanted to keep it packaged, well, look no further. Here's what it looks like out of its package. It's very matte blue, and you got those little rust spots on the side as well. Very creative tampos on this thing, and it's just a cute looking car. I mean, you can't deny. It's very cute looking Ford. All right, so let's go ahead and set all of these cars aside, set them up on the track, and see which one is the fastest. All right, we have all 12 new models lined up and ready to go. And honestly, something really cool is that all 12 of these models are all licensed castings. Last tournament, we had 4 or 5 cars that weren't licensed, and they were more like work cars, but now we've got all of these cars with a license, and I think that's really great for Matchbox. Even though their cases are still much smaller than the Hot Wheels cases, they still do a really good job not bringing that many carryovers from the previous cases. So that's going to make my job a lot easier as we find out which one of these cars is the fastest on this distance track. Now, I read your comments about the ARC and this distance track. For this video, we are going to be keeping the ARC because I think it is a very good representation as to how slower cars won't even be making it around the ARC. And if they don't make it around the ARC, then what's the point of even racing them against the fastest of the fastest anyways? But there is a small tweak to this setup. Instead of running into the outside lane, cars are going to be running onto the inside lane. So hopefully the slower cars will not be getting stuck on the outside lane of this turn. Plus, if they're managed to keep their lane on the inside here, they're going to be going onto the inside groove instead of the outside groove for turn 3, and that will make these runs a little bit farther for some of these faster cars. So that's going to be the setup for this video. I promise you the setup is going to be much different for all of these Matchbox case unboxings, especially starting with the 2026 line. We might might not start with the arc in turn 1, but for now, that's what we've got, and we're gonna be using this track to see which one of these cars is the fastest from the Matchbox 2025 M Case. All right, first car I wanna test is my favorite from the case. We've got the Ford Mustang. See how fast this Mustang is able to take this track, hugging the inside lane pretty well. Not a bad run for the Mustang whatsoever. 208 scale speed. This thing actually has a pretty good amount of speed. It went much farther than basically every other car did in the previous case unboxing, so a very good car to start us off. 208 scale speed, man, this thing's flying. Next up, we got this 2024 Subaru WRX. See if he has the speed to complete the track. He's gonna go up the hill for turn 2, but it doesn't look like this thing's very good at maintaining its speed on the straights. He's gonna finish off before that second downhill on the back straight, 176 scale speed, so not very fast for the Subaru. Honestly, I was expecting more. That's a very disappointing run. All right, let's see if this Harry Potter car flies away on its distance run. No, it doesn't look like it. He's gonna stay planted around the arc, and this thing's got some good speed. Let's see what it's able to do. Oh no, he's gonna flip over around turn 2. I have not seen that before out of one of these models. I think we should give it another go because this thing was going really fast. Not 1,000 miles an hour fast, but still, I think fast enough to constitute for a rerun. All right, let's see if this Weasley car can go any... Okay, it's not time to fly yet. Let's just try this run one more time. See what this thing's able to do. Let's see if it's gonna flip over around turn 3 again. No, it looks like he is gonna stay planted this time. Unfortunately, it's not the cleanest turn 3 for this Ford, but it's still a pretty good run. He's second fastest so far. And again, the speed trap didn't quite pick him up quite accurately, but there you go. Now you know how fast the Harry Potter car is. Let's see if he stacks up against the competition. All right, let's see what this Polaris RZR can do. Wow, a lot faster than I was expecting. You can just hear those wheels. As this car trudges around into turn 3, he's going to stay on that apex of turn 3. Again, a very inaccurate speed from the speed trap. Usually that happens with these open wheeled cars, but honestly, a lot faster than I thought that Polaris RZR was going to be originally, so not bad. All right, let's check out this 2018 Dodge Durango. This thing is a beefy model and it's got the weight to back it up. Let's see how fast it can go. Around turn 3, he's not quite going to have the best run. The Ford Angelina is going to still stay in front of him, but 193 scale speed through the speed trap. This thing was carrying its speed well, and it's much heavier than most of the other Matchbox models so far in this video, so something to keep in mind as it currently clocks in the 3rd fastest distance. Next up, let's see what this 2024 Range Rover can do. It's going to make it around the arc, no issues, and up turn 2. Let's see how far he can extend his distance on the straightaway. Hugging that inside, he's going to finish just in front of the Polaris RZR. Very clean run for the Range Rover, and 193 scale speed as well. Not a shabby speed at all. All of these cars have some pretty decent speed in them. All right, next up, let's try the Scania. If I am able to launch it all right. The Scania, no! I fear the Scania just might not have the speed required to go around the arc. It is such a tall model, and it's quite long and skinny too, so it just must not be able to carry its speed very well through that high banked Hot Wheels track. But like I said, we'll be replacing that for future videos to come, and unfortunately for Scania, he's going to place himself at the bottom of the grid, not getting close to our front runners. All right, I've got high hopes for this BMW M1. See what the BMW is able to do, carrying his speed all right through the arc. Looks like he's slowing down a little bit on the straights. Where is he going to end off? He's going to end off behind the Polaris RZR. Not the best entry into turn 3 we've seen, and honestly, it's kind of shocking he's slower than all of these other cars in front of him on turn 3. 188.88 skill speed honestly checks out for where he finished off on the track, but overall not a bad run for the BMW M1. Next up, let's try this Safari Land Rover. See what this thing's able to do around. Unfortunately, this thing's just a little too top heavy to make it around the arc. So a little bit more insight as to what's happening here when the cars are falling off of this piece of Hot Wheels track. As you can see, in order to make it all the way around the arc, these cars have to maintain so much speed that they're almost at an upside down angle on this turn, and unfortunately for this car, it doesn't have the speed to make it all the way around. Plus of how heavy it is on the top, it is bound to just fall off the arc, and unfortunately not going to be able to compete with our front runners here at all when it comes to speed. So unfortunate, but now we've got our second car so far that's not been able to make it around the track. All right, next we got a Volvo 240. The Volvo makes it around the arc, no issue. Looks like he's carrying his speed really well in the straights, not slowing down whatsoever. He's gonna have a really good turn 3, and he's gonna put himself right behind that Ford Mustang. It's not gonna be fast enough to be the king of the hill, but 193 scale speed shows he was not very fast going through the speed trap, but was able to carry so much speed. He passed all of these cars around turn 3. Very impressive for the Volvo. All right, second to last car, we've got the Nissan Sentra. See what the Sentra is able to do on this distance track. See if he's able to carry speed well in the straights. It looks like he is. It's going to be a little bit of a slow run, not the most optimal line around turn 3, but it's still going to be enough for third fastest so far in this case race. Again, 193 scale speed for the Nissan Sentra. Going to put himself behind the Volvo and third fastest overall with only one car left. Looks like the Mustang is going to be our fastest car so far, and he was our first run. What are the odds of that? Finally, we got the Nissan Ariya pole to pole. Let's see what this rally car can do. Oh, the rally car is going to get on 2 wheels coming around the arc, but he's going to flip over. I think he can do it. He just needs a little bit more speed. Come on, Nissan, you can do it. He makes it around the arc. Let's see how far he can carry his speed. Slow up the hill, but now he's going to go down the hill. It looks like he's going to slow to a stop right before turn 3, and it's not going to be a fast enough run to beat the Mustang, who is now your king of the Matchbox M Case. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at where all these cars finished. The Mustang finished the farthest. Second place is the Volvo, and third place is the Nissan, followed by the Harry Potter Ford, and then the Dodge behind him in 5th. Then we got the Land Rover, the Razor, the BMW, and then that Nissan Ariya rally car finishing right before turn 3. And if we go all the way back here, we've got the Subaru that also didn't quite make it to turn 3. So in order to find ourselves what the fastest Matchbox model is, this Mustang is going to be holding his distance against our current king, the Ford F-150 SVT Lightning. Also, I apologize, I've been calling this thing the SVT Lightning. That is not true. It is just the Ford F-150 Lightning. No SVT because it's just the very standard Matchbox model. But okay, let's see if this thing, our king of the hill, can go faster than the Mustang. Let's find out. Look at the speed he's able to carry around the inside, and he's just barely gonna pass that Ford Mustang. What a run by the Ford. It's a Ford versus Ford matchup, and the pickup is still our fastest Matchbox car, but that goes to show that this Mustang is actually very on par with the speed that this pickup brings. But unfortunately, no crown for him. The Ford F-150 is gonna hold the Matchbox case crown. There you guys have it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love reading your comments about all of the things you have to say with these Matchbox videos, and I want to know which car was your favorite from this case. And if you're excited for some more Matchbox case races, come to the channel in 2026, because the next case we're going to be unboxing, hopefully, fingers crossed, if the Matchbox design team wants to keep sending me things, will be the 2026 A case for the Matchbox basic line, and we'll have to find out which one is the fastest, and if anything, or if any cars have speed to beat this Ford F-150 Lightning. So stay tuned for that. Hit like and subscribe with that notification bell if you can't wait to see that next model. And honestly, comment down below what you think of this series. Should I change up the track? Should I change up the way I unbox the cars? Let me know down in the comments. I want to hear what you guys have to say with all of this Matchbox content, because it really means a lot when you guys care about the videos that I make. So with that being said, thanks again to the Matchbox team for sending me this. Use JR3Garage.com as your source to buy some of my Hot Wheels. I greatly appreciate it, and it supports me in what I do. So if that interests you, link in bio. Hit subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next tournament. Take it easy. Peace.